In a quiet little Mississippi town, there lived a woman named Miss Clara Thompson. She spent her days alone in the same White House she and her husband, Robert Cat, bought all the way back in 1955. Robert passed away in 2018, leaving Clara on her own at the age of 88. For 50 years, every single Sunday without fail, Clara would sit down and write a letter. She wrote to people she loved, her family, her friends, even strangers who had crossed her path and left a mark on her heart. But here's the thing, she never mailed a single one. Instead, she'd carefully tuck each letter into an old shoebox she kept under her bed. Over the years, that box filled up with more than 2,000 letters, a lifetime of unspoken words. Clara passed away peacefully in her sleep in 2026, at the age of 95. Her granddaughter, Maya, came to the old White House to begin the difficult task of cleaning it out. As she worked her way through the familiar rooms, she eventually found herself in her grandmother's bedroom, and there, under the bed, was the shoebox. Curious, Maya sat on the floor and opened it. She pulled out the first letter she saw. It was dated 1968, addressed to her unborn child, a baby Clara had miscarried. It read, "I'll love you always, my little one." Tears welled in Maya's eyes. She picked up another, this one to her grandfather Robert, from 2015, just a few years before he passed. "I'm so scared to live without you," Clara had written, "but I promise I will try." Then Maya found one addressed to her, from when she was just 5 years old. "You are going to grow up so strong and kind, my dear Maya. I can see it in you already." For days, the whole family gathered, reading through the mountains of letters. There were thousands of them, filled with love, with apologies, with quiet gratitude, and with secrets held for decades. It was a treasure trove of a life fully lived, even if the words were never spoken aloud. After much discussion, they came to a decision. They would mail every single letter. Each one would be sent with a small, handwritten note that said, "From Grandma Clara, delivered a little late." The letters started arriving in mailboxes all across the country. One went to a man who had been Clara's childhood bully. "I forgave you a long, long time ago," the letter said. "I hope you have found peace in your life." The man, now in his 90s, called Maya, his voice thick with tears. "I never knew," he sobbed. "I never knew she forgave me." Another letter reached a nurse who had cared for Robert in his final days. "You gave him dignity when he needed it most. Thank you." The nurse was so touched, she framed the letter and kept it on her desk for years, a reminder of the impact she had. One even found its way to the daughter of a man who had passed away. The letter was addressed to him, thanking him for helping Clara when her car broke down on a deserted road back in 1982. "Your kindness that day saved my faith in people," Clara wrote. The man's daughter said it arrived at the perfect time, a message from the past that brought comfort to her grieving heart. Among the last of the letters, Maya found one addressed to herself. It was dated the very day her grandmother had passed. "My dearest Maya," it began, "if you're reading this, it means I'm gone. These letters, they were my way of staying connected, of letting the love out even if I was too shy to say it. Now, it's your turn. Mail them. Let all this love finish its journey. Don't be sad for me. I'm dancing with your grandpa Robert again. All my love, Grandma." There was one final envelope left in the shoebox. The address simply read, "To whoever finds this house next." Maya opened it. Inside, a single sheet of paper said, "This house has held a lot of love. Please add yours, Clara." The family smiled and left the letter in a kitchen drawer for the new owners to find. In the months that followed, hundreds of people wrote back to the family. Strangers who received Clara's letters became friends. Old wounds were healed. It seemed that Clara's voice, through the letters she never mailed, touched more lives after she was gone than it ever had while she was here. Maya eventually took the now empty shoebox and placed it back in its spot under the bed, a silent monument to a grandmother's legacy. It turns out that love doesn't always need a postage stamp. It just needs to be sent. Eventually, if you have an unsent letter in your own heart, a word of thanks or forgiveness you've been holding on to, maybe it's time to let it go. Maybe it's time to let that love finish its journey. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to Whispers of Aunt Lila. Just look for the W.O.A.L whisper. See you next time.